Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews, and today we have something insanely cool to unbox. I just finally received a box from my good buddy JurassicKM. He sent me this box quite a ways back, but unfortunately due to the Canadian labor strike, it was just stuck there. It was just not moving for a while, and then recently it finally began to move again since they did, I think they started to get back to work. I don't think they ever settled on anything. I haven't really been following it too close, but I know that they are back to work at least for now, and my box finally started moving, so really excited to finally have it here. Now, what is inside the box are actually two different things. Well, there's a bunch of stuff, but two different sort of sections to the box. The first part is an order that I actually placed from a Canadian website called Toy Sense. Now, this site is actually one of the very few sites that still have Geo World figures in stock. Now, they actually had a gigantic line of not only dinosaurs, but other prehistoric creatures as well. But as time goes on, I've kind of slept on them for too long, and now they're starting to get pretty hard to find, and I don't really know very many websites where you can actually still find these figures. So when I came across that site, I instantly knew that I had to grab some of the figures from the site that I was not able to get anywhere else and add them to my collection. And he, again, my buddy JurassicKM, was kind enough to get these from the site, have them shipped to him, and then ship them to me. Because having them actually shipped straight from the site to me, for some reason the shipping was like astronomically high. So I had him, again, send them my way, which helped me to get the shipping a good bit cheaper. But then the other part of this are actually his repaints. He constantly creates incredible new custom figures and repaints, and he's always making videos for them on his YouTube channel, which if you are interested, I will include a link in the description to where you can head on over to him. Make sure you subscribe to his channel if you like Jurassic customs and stuff, because he is always making super cool stuff, and you'll get a sneak peek of that, of course, here with this video when I bring these figures in. So I've babbled on long enough. Let's start bringing stuff in. So one thing he was kind enough to include, first of all, you can see a really cool Jurassic World the exhibition like slip in here, which I definitely am excited about checking out. Definitely a fun piece of memorabilia to add to my collection, but also behind it you have all the booklets and boxes for the Geo World figures. Now, the boxes are pretty hefty on the Geo World figures at times, so to actually find a box big enough to ship all of the figures in the boxes, the original boxes, would have been crazy. I would have just been racking up a massive shipping bill for no reason, so I asked him if he could kind of, crush the boxes down, basically take them apart and send them my way so I could still check out the boxes in case I review any of them, and of course just add to my collection, and he was absolutely kind enough to do that, so I will, of course, take a look at those when I actually review some of these figures, if I get around to those, because I always have so much stuff to review. But if you guys want to see reviews for the Geo World figures, definitely let me know, and I will start trying to get some of them up. But again, some of the species that Geo World has in their lines are so cool. Now I'm going to have to unwrap each and every one of these figures here off to the side because he is so good at packaging his stuff when he ships them out to me. There's always a lot, that has to go into unwrapping everything. But here is the first figure that I just pulled out of the packaging. And this is the Australovenator, and that's a really cool one because you don't see many companies make this species, and it's definitely a pretty nice looking color scheme that they have for it. Now, I think the biggest downside to Geo World is even though they do have a lot of really cool species, a lot of their figures don't look that great sculpt-wise in comparison to other similar brands like Safari Ltd and Collect Day and stuff like that. But they are still cool figures, and you can see here is the Concavenator. I think the worst part about the Geo World figures all the time is the paintwork of the eyes. For some reason, the paintwork can look fairly smooth and decent through the course of the body, but the eyes are always just so bad and so sloppy. You can see right there, if my camera would focus, the eye of the Concavenator is definitely very, very sloppy as far as the paintwork goes. But again, if you guys are interested in seeing reviews of these figures, definitely let me know. I'll start getting some up on the channel. And again, another really cool species you don't see get made very often, we have the Ornithomimus, and that one's definitely really exciting. It's super cool to be able to actually see these figures in person because a lot of these I've never seen in person before. I would say most of them. We also have a Mapasaurus in the line. You're definitely, as I said, not going to find your best, most scientifically accurate interpretations of the dinosaurs in their lines, but, they're still pretty fun for what they are. And again, a really cool one here, the Eustreptospondylus. You just don't see anybody making that figure. I don't know, outside of the TS Toys version, if there's ever even been one made. I'm wondering if Collect A has one out. I kind of feel like they might, but I don't remember for sure if they do. But definitely a really, really cool figure. And again, when it comes to species I've never seen anyone make outside of Geo World, we've got this one here, which is the Thescelosaurus. And again, I don't think anybody has a figure out for this one outside of Geo World. And it is a pretty cool looking figure. Some, as you can see, have bases. Some do not. That's the way they came initially. We also have a Suchomimus in the line, which is actually a pretty darn cool looking figure as well. So you do have some more common, fairly popular species mixed in. Of course, you've got all the classics in GeoWorld's line like Tyrannosaurus and Allosaurus and Carnotaurus and Triceratops and Stegosaurus and Brachiosaurus, all of that stuff. But I already have all those figures. So these are some more of the, I would say, more obscure species I didn't have prior. There is also a Centaurosaurus in the line, which is also a pretty cool figure. I really quite like the color scheme of this one, even though it's not the greatest in the world. When it comes to GeoWorld color schemes, it's a pretty neat one. And one super epic one is this. There is a Coelophysis in the line. I love Coelophysis, and just, it's a species that for some reason you don't see figures of very often. And that's definitely a really cool looking one. I also feel like it sculpt-wise looks very reminiscent to the Walking with Dinosaurs version of the Coelophysis. Not quite as far as the coloration, but similar in sculpt. And another thing that is really cool about GeoWorld that I actually didn't know until only about a year ago is that they had a line of prehistoric mammals out as well. And I, for some reason, never knew this until I stumbled upon a listing on eBay, I think is where I found out about them. And again, they actually had some in the website here, on the website, of the GeoWorld mammals. And you can see here we have the Macrauchenia, which is super cool. But honestly, man, that's a nice looking figure. I feel like GeoWorld were probably really hitting their stride when it comes to the prehistoric mammals. I actually do have one of their figures in my collection prior to this when it comes to the prehistoric mammals, so I'm excited to actually have a few more now. And talk about awesome species, there is also a Procoptodon in the GeoWorld line, and again, this is another species I do not have any figures of, so definitely hyped for that one. And here we go with yet another super cool species that I've never seen anyone else make. We have the Falcarius, and this one is really, really neat. And what's cool is when Toy Sense had actually shipped this one out, my buddy JurassicKM let me know that the figure was damaged, and they sent me the other one. They sent me another one, just to make up for the damage on this one. This one has actually broken off of the base, and the actual peg broke off and everything on the underside. And since these figures are pretty hard to find, I really wanted to get one in mint condition and keep it in mint condition. And now I have two, because they did send me another one just for that minor inconvenience of the other one being broken off. So maybe I'll repaint one at some point. And we've also got a Lambeosaurus. Now this one is obviously a bit more common when it comes to dinosaur figures, but still one that I did not have. And we've also got this one, which is again a super obscure species that we don't see get figures of very often. And I apologize completely if I mispronounce the name ahead of time, but it is, and I believe it states here on the underside, just so if I do butcher it, you guys can see the name of the species, Metrodiacurus. And again, I'm not super familiar with this one, even to the point where obviously I don't know exactly how we pronounce the name of the species, but it's another incredibly cool prehistoric mammal from GeoWorld that I did not have, and I don't know if I even have a figure of that species either. And the final is this, which is the Amebelodon, and what's cool about this is this figure is actually the one that I spotted on eBay. Now, I obviously didn't get it from eBay. It ended up selling for a much higher price than I was ready to pay for it, but I again went searching for this one on Google, and that's how I stumbled upon the Toy Sense website, and now I'm lucky enough to have all of these incredible GeoWorld figures. So super happy that, again, I have all of these. Definitely, if you are interested in reviews of any of them, let me know. I will, of course, try my best to get reviews up for them for you guys, because there really aren't all that many reviews for Geo World figures out there. And of course, again, a massive thank you goes out to my buddy JurassicKM for helping me to get a hold of all of these insanely cool figures. Now, we basically just pushed everybody there as far as the Geo World group back to the back there. And to kind of show you, again, he has all of these figures wrapped so nicely here within the box. But to start bringing in his customs, first of all, we have a Atrociraptor tiger. Now, as you can see, he's gone ahead and created one of the coolest, in my opinion, Atrociraptors of the Atrociraptor squad, and given it a really nice fresh new coat of paint. And obviously this was the extreme damage version, I think it was, and basically the battle damaged version of the Atrociraptor. But what's cool that I see in here, oh, I don't have the legs correctly placed, is we don't just have one. We've got the others in here as well, because here is Atrociraptor Red, looking absolutely awesome. I think the paintwork here of Red is super well done, but of course, there's more, because we as well have Atrociraptor Ghost hiding in here, and that one as well looks really cool. I like that he's blended the grays and the whites and everything, giving Ghost those red eyes that you, again, would want to see on that Atrociraptor. But of course, if we have these three, that means that we've also got to have Panthera hiding in here, and as you can see, that's exactly what we have in here, which this is in fact the Panthera figure. You can see, of course, from the pose, that Atrociraptor has that kind of crouching pose to it when it comes to the Mattel releases. But obviously, we have the entire Atrociraptor squad here repainted, and man, do they ever look so cool with a fresh coat of more realistic paint on them. I think he's done a very nice job on the Atrociraptor squad, and that means that I believe I now have both the Atrociraptor squad and Velociraptor squad in my collection repainted by JurassicKM, which is awesome. Now, this next model looks like maybe it disconnected when it shipped. Again, just from being roughed up, it disconnected. But how incredibly cool is this? That is absolutely fantastic. He's gone ahead and created the When Dinosaurs Ruled the Earth banner. He went and created an entire base, which we can see here from scratch, it looks like, applied all sorts of bones and everything here to replicate the visitor center after, you know, basically at the end of Jurassic Park. And he's also taken a Papo T-Rex and given it, of course, that really nice Rexy coloration to it. I have to be very careful. I don't want it to fall. You can see it kind of moving as I'm spinning it around here, because as I said, it looks as though the glue came off. There are actually footprints, I believe, on the base. I should have just picked it up to show you guys the base. If I was intelligent, that's what I would have done. So you can see there are footprints on the base showing me where to place the T-Rex, but obviously it disconnected again when it was shipping in transit. But you can see it looks so nice as far as his paintwork goes. He's even painted out the injuries there. Again, he's got that nice kind of bloody injury look here to the back of the T-Rex, as well as over here on the side of the neck. So that is absolutely awesome. Taking a classic like the Papo T-Rex and now creating a super iconic diorama. And he's actually done this previously as well, because in the last box that I acquired from him, he actually recreated the scene from Fallen Kingdom where the T-Rex steps on the Carnotaurus, also again using Papo figures. So I also have that in my collection as well right now, again, which is also super cool. Love these dioramas that he creates, and again, absolutely fantastic job on that one as well. And speaking of Rexys, we've got another one, because he has gone ahead and taken this super cool bootleg version of the Mattel T-Rex that he found, I think at like a dollar store or something nearby, and given it a way higher quality, more, well, there we go, if we can focus on it, more traditional Rexy coloration with a lot more paintwork added to the T-Rex, giving it a way more realistic and lifelike look. My camera, for some reason, hates to focus on it, but you can see, again, really well done. He definitely does a very good job of painting his figures out, giving them nice, variation of color, nice washes and everything, dry brushing applied to it. Obviously, we can see the inside of the mouth painted, also including that nice gloss coat. All of those teeth very nicely painted, which I'm sure look way better than the original paintwork of the figure did. That is really, really cool. It's neat to have that kind of Mattel T-Rex sort of shrunken down, but even cooler to actually have it, painted up more like the actual film version of Rexy. And we are only 2 away from the ending of this box, but this next one might be my favorite repaint that he has ever done, because it is this. Now, if you know what I am looking at here, or what I am showing you guys, this repaint is basically replicating the incredible Mattel canceled Allosaurus. There was this, which you can see from this image, which was a super cool, older version of the Allosaurus that was a different paint variant compared to the ones that we actually got. And obviously it never got released from Mattel. They basically just teased us with it on the back of some boxes and stuff with some images. But unfortunately, it never released, and I love that figure. I think it is super cool, and now he has gone ahead and repainted one of the larger versions, the extreme damage version of the Allosaurus, and replicated that color scheme, and how incredibly cool does this thing look. Man, oh man, does this look nice in those colors. It absolutely is just so striking, and is far and away one of the nicest looking versions of a Mattel Allosaurus that I have ever seen. That thing is just so incredibly cool. Oh, and he's even painted the inside of the mouth to give it that really cool variation of color to the tongue with like blues and purples in there. Oh man, he did such a good job on this figure, and the paint apps look so smooth on that. Man, that thing is awesome. I cannot wait to put that one up on my shelf and display it. And the final figure in here might actually be even cooler than the Allosaurus, but that Allosaurus is going to be a hard one to top. But as you can see, you may not instantly know what you are looking at unless you're around my age and you are familiar with the most obscure when it comes to animated dinosaurs. But this is Shivit from the Cadillacs and Dinosaurs cartoon, and this is maybe his masterpiece overall when it comes to his custom work, because as you can see, he has gone ahead and put a lot of work into customizing this figure. He's obviously added all sorts of like those bumps through the course of the body, really elaborated all of that up there on the head, and again applied this basically through the entire body. Not only that, he's also sealed up all of the seams, so rather than looking like the actual, Mattel figure with all of the articulated joints and everything, it now has the seams basically sealed up and looks a lot more model-like as opposed to toy-like. And then, of course, on top of everything, giving it a fresh coat of paint to replicate the look and feel of the T-Rex from Cadillacs and Dinosaurs. Look at the eye paint and the nice gloss coat on it. You can see even the inside of the mouth painted really, really nicely. Wow, talk about an incredible figure. And I would say that is equally, I'm going to turn it around just so we can get a better shot here of the face and reposition it a little bit better back there without knocking anything over. But talk about an absolutely incredible looking custom figure. That is easily one of the most striking visuals of a custom Mattel T-Rex that I have seen yet. So that is my entire haul here from him. Again, I have to give him a massive shout out and a huge thank you for sending all of this stuff over, and of course helping me to get my order of Geo World figures in and added to my collection. If you would like to see reviews of anything you've seen in this video, of course let me know and I will be sure to get those videos up on the channel. But more importantly, if you like what you see when it comes to his customs, I will include a link in the description to his YouTube channel. If you head on over there, you can actually see him make these figures. Again, how he has gone ahead and customized each and every one of these figures and given us these absolutely awesome figures here to now add to my collection. So make sure you check him out. Make sure you subscribe to him again on YouTube. Follow him on Instagram and everything, and stay up to date on all of the cool stuff he's working on. Again, thank you so much, my friend. I'm so psyched about this. Cannot wait to get these up on the shelf and again displayed. And of course, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next review. Thanks for watching.